The womb which hosts us is the first school of communication, a place of listening and physical contact where we begin to familiarize ourselves with the outside world within a protected environment, with the reassuring sound of a mother's heartbeat.
I remember when I was pregnant with my firstborn about 22 years ago, I really tried to make the baby feel love even if he or she wasn't born yet.
I usually talked to her and told her that, "Child, please hold on. Please bear with your mommy because we are eagerly waiting for you."
Even after we have come into the world, in some sense we are still in a womb, which is the family. A womb made up of various interrelated persons. The family is where we learn to live with others despite our differences.
I was there when they actually came out. And for all of them, the first message that I had really was, I'm here welcoming you into this world. Please come out healthily, normally.
So every time we have to attend the choir on the 10 o'clock mass, we bring a basket and we carry her together in front of us to sing it with the choir.
The family becomes the setting in which most basic form of communication, which is prayer, is handed down.
The most exciting part is to impart with my child what I have learned. Learned from my church, but more so from my parents, from my mother.
Sometimes we teach them how to pray the Hail Mary, Our Father, and so on.
In the family, we learn to embrace and support one another, to discern the meaning of facial expressions and moments of silence, to laugh and cry together with people who did not choose one another, yet are so important to each other.
For me, since we're a migrant family, the event that made us closer would be, I could say, the moments that my father is here or when we go there in Singapore to bond, at least thrice a year we get together.
Probably when I have problems, I tell my sister or my parents, and then they can always help me with those problems, especially if it's serious problems or even simple problems.
The family where we keep loving one another despite our limits and sins, thus becomes a school of forgiveness. Forgiveness is itself a process of communication.
Our children know we are not perfect parents. We commit many mistakes. We get angry, we say the wrong things. I'm sure we sometimes get on their nerves, we nag them too much. But at the end of the day, I think they know that we really try. We try to love them as best as we can.
And what is really evident in these occasions is that the day after, he would already forgive me. It's as if nothing has happened. It's as if, it's okay, Papa. At the end of the day, the reason why you're doing this is because you love me, and I forgive you, and life goes on for us.
My sister and I bicker a lot. Like, we always fight about the littlest things. But then, at the end of the day, someone always has to say, I'm sorry, or what I did wasn't good, or the next day, we have to get along.
The Christian community is called to help them in teaching children how to live in a media environment in a way consonant with the dignity of human person and service of the common good.
I think media is something that we try to both use wisely and regulate in the use of, among our children.
Media right now is a competition in terms of the time that the kids would have for the family or even among themselves. The minute that there's something on TV as well.
I always like to open my Facebook account, so I had to filter which ones would be beneficial for me.
If we talk to each other, it will help us become closer instead of using media.
The great challenge facing us today is to learn once again how to talk to one another, not simply how to generate and consume information.
I considered my family a family because of the bonding that we have had. Like as a migrant family, I would usually say that for 20 years that my husband is out of the country.
You know, the family is a place where you cannot hide anything. Your family members know who you really are. You cannot pretend to be someone you're not when you're in the family.
The family, in conclusion, is not a subject of debate or a terrain for ideological skirmishes. Rather, it is an environment in which we learn to communicate in an experience of closeness, a setting where communication takes place, a communicating community.
Most of the time, I'm not around. So I try as much as possible is to come here to Philippines at least 3 to 4 times in a year, so we can have a bonding time.
We formulated our vision. It took a couple of years before we had it finalized, and generally at the end of the day, this is what we are as a family, and this is what we hope to do as a family, with the end of objective of eventually all of us going to heaven.
Families at their best actively communicate by their witness the beauty and the richness of relationship between man and woman, and between parents and children.
I think my family is a family that you can call because we care for each other.
My family is united and we love each other and we care about each other and we're also there for each other. So I think that's what makes my family a family.
We are not fighting to defend the past. Rather, with patience and trust, we are working to build a better future for the world in which we live.